Good morning, New Life. My name is Dalton Davis, and this is my New Life story. I can't really remember a version of myself before Christ. My parents did a great job of instilling Christ in me as a child, going to Sunday school and reading the children's books and all that. So I kind of knew of God from a very young age, but didn't really make an effort to reach out into a church in college. It's one thing I regret for sure. There was a really good group of young Christians that I could have got more involved in, but football took up all my time, so I used that as an excuse. But I'm trying to make up for lost time getting community now within a church. So. Perfect Saturday morning for me looks like probably waking up, making a cup of coffee, drinking it on the porch, watching the sunrise, going out in the park, getting barefoot in the grass. I'm kind of into that. Packing a bag, going and hiking a trail somewhere, going to the gym or something like that. But play guitar like you guys know, so spend a lot of my time doing that, but probably how I do my Saturday. This summer I went to Europe with a friend of mine that grew up over there. But me and the 3 friends that we went with had been Christians our whole life, and this kid was kind of a raging atheist. I mean, raised with zero influence Christian-wise. But going to Rome, us 3 had really looked forward to seeing the living faith of God put into architecture. I thought it was really interesting to see the structures and all the temples and everything that was monumented for Christ. That many people don't live and breathe their faith and spend their whole lives and careers building something for something that might have been a lie. So if you've ever had a question about your faith, go to Rome. But while we were there, the dude had an encounter with God. We were in the Vatican and he said he felt something come over him, and we saw a lot of artifacts that were very tangible proof that the stories about Jesus were real deal and you can't deny it. So that night in the hotel room, he come over and he was asking all the right questions, and he got saved that night in Rome. Well, I found New Life whenever I first moved to KC. I lived in the Power and Light District just up the street, and just Googled downtown church, and this was the first one that popped up. And I came, and I walked in and I listened to the sermon. The first time that I really needed somebody to use as a sounding board in my life, was having some trouble relationally. Didn't have anybody with who I looked up to that could give me discernment in a godly way. So I came to church one afternoon and just walked in and found Troy back in the office area, and asked if he had a second to talk, and he took me back immediately. And we hashed it out. He opened the Bible, gave me a lot of great insight, set me on a very straight path, and then the very next week that issue resolved. So God had his hands in that for sure. But about 6 months later, I knew I wanted to get more involved. So about that time, we had our last lead guitarist leave here, and I was talking to Jeff, and he told me that we might have a spot for me. So you might see me playing guitar some Sundays, but whenever I get a chance to do that, it's always a great time. But there is a point that I struggle with my faith. I had mentioned how I had been Christian from a child, going to Sunday school and all that, and that's a credit to my mother mostly. My dad kind of struggled with his faith growing up, but I was always a great guy, but my mom was the one who was really pushing the envelope about God specifically. And then unfortunately, whenever I was 13, kind of had a family issue and a big falling out, and she ended up leaving. And for years I held a lot of resentment towards her. And I thought that having the conflict of interest with her putting so much hurt into me from the person who instilled God into me, I think it kind of made me somewhat mad at God. And for years that drained me so much more energy than it would have taken me to forgive her. And I was very cold to her for a lot of years. I played college football and I didn't let her come to a single game. And I regret that more than anything, because the time with your parents is finite. But this all kind of plays into the obedience thing. That's been more of a focus point for me in this last couple of years. Is one of the 10 Commandments is honor thy mother and father. So I knew I had to forgive her. And if God's going to extend the grace to me that he extends every single day, who am I to withhold that from my mom? So ended up having to just give it all to God one day and just forgive her. And her and I have a great relationship now. I know her new husband and her new extended family. And it fills me with energy rather than sapping the energy that I was giving away to the anger. So coming back, and that's a full circle moment for me. I mean, she instilled the faith in me messed up. It's her first try at this life thing, just like it is mine. So forgiving her brought me even closer to God.